So welcome everyone, this is Elsie Kerns, and this is our July Women Healing Women Wellness webinar. And we're going to have two very special guests tonight. Chris is going to lead us through some Tai Chi, and Kathy's going to talk about plant medicine. So let me just reach over to the slideshow. So I want to start out by saying I have a new website, overwhelmwarrior.com, and this actually came about way back in October. I was working with a branding gal, and through all the preliminary work and investigative work she did, we came up with this new theme, which is totally different than my other site. So it's been kind of exciting to put it together. And then a colleague of mine from a workshop a couple of years ago is both a graphic artist and a website designer, and she put those two talents together, and you can go in when you get a chance and look at the Overwhelm Warrior. So we're going to begin like we do every week, every month. We're going to do our 1-minute May I meditation. So let's bring our palms together in front of the heart. Let's take a breath. And just let go of all the day's hubbub. And now we're going to bring our palms up to the top of the crown. And here we're opening that high sense perception, direct connection to the divine, direct knowing. And we're going to say, may I know the truth. Let's say that together. May I know the truth. Now we're going to come down to the third eye. Our thumbs are right at the forehead. And here in our high sense perception, we're opening up our clairvoyance, seeing, and clairaudience, hearing. This works with our seeing and our hearing. So here we're going to say, may I see and hear the truth. So let's say that together. May I see and hear the truth. We bring our thumbs off the lips. May I speak the truth. Together, may I speak the truth. We come back down to the heart. May I speak the truth through my heart to all humanity. So we come here to the heart and we say together, may I speak the truth through my heart to all humanity. Take a breath. And again, just let go. So I want to ask Chris, I'm going to ask her a couple questions in a minute. I'm going to stop the share so we can see Chris, but I want to talk first about some of the benefits of Tai Chi, and especially as you get older, for balance. But all of these benefits have been documented by real research. And it has been known to help you live longer because it works with balance. It can reduce the risk of falls. It also tends to boost our cognitive function. And that's something we all are concerned about as we age. It improves COPD symptoms. It helps us get a better quality of sleep at night. It can also improve the symptoms of fibromyalgia, and they have seen improvements in cardiovascular fitness. And of course, it improves our muscle strength, balance, and flexibility. So I want to stop the share for a minute. And Chris, I want to talk to you and ask you, what brought you into the world of Tai Chi? I don't know how long ago, but I know you are a Tai Chi instructor. And so what brought this world to your attention and decide to teach it?
Here. Okay, I had to unmute me. Okay.
All right, thanks.
Everyone. Okay, so I've been doing this for over 23 years now, just over. And my instructor is John Chen. I met him at an educational workshop And I was just curious. I was curious in the healing arts, and curious about other kinds of movement. Being in health, being a health educator and a physical educator in teaching. So there were like 65 of us at the workshop, and I was the only one who went to his studio to see what was going on. See, he offered a class free to anybody who wanted to come, and I said, well, free's good for me. And the other aspect that joined into that is the fact that I had a shoulder and neck injury, and I had physical therapy, and that was sort of all right. So I talked to him about healing or improving this thing, and it's a process, but over time, Tai Chi actually loosened the area, and I was able to do a lot more, and it really does work. You know, it's kind of a slowish process because the body is re-educating itself through movement, and it gains its strength as it re-educates itself. And the slowness of the activity actually enhances motor coordination and memory and cognitive abilities as well. So it's muscle memory as well as tendon and bone and all that. So the dynamic is the harmony of the body, and over time that comes into play. So that's how I got to him, and that's how long I've been with him. And so I don't know, all the things that you spoke of.
Right.
More recently, yeah. There's a lot of medical history now, I'll call it, even though it's more current. But people have been able to come off medications and reduce their requirement of such medications, even in diabetes and heart, you know, like blood pressure, as you say, and those kinds of things, and increasing circulation and all of that. Is the basic movements flow together. They open the channels in the body. And again, it's a process. So you have to re-educate yourself to do that. And I was determined that I was going to do what irritated me. It kind of irritated me in the beginning because I'm always very active, and it's slow. And you have to become accustomed to that. You have to slow down your body for it to learn and to accept more easily. The more relaxed you are, the body just unconsciously will accept those movements and improve.
Well, Chris, I know you as a go, go, go person. So how long did it take you to slow down? This is 23 years.
This is 23 years.
And are you doing this at John's studio, or where do you teach?
Well, it just depends. At John's studio and some senior centers.
Oh, great.
When they were open, yes, I was doing that as well. Yeah. So it is very beneficial. But at a studio, when the time arises, yeah.
Good. So can you just show us one or two just easy movements that we can all just watch you do and follow you for a moment?
Well, I can show you something that you actually can do yourself. One of the foundation movements is called Ma Bu. And Ma Bu, it's actually, yeah, it's a Chinese word for horse stance. And basically, it's going to be hard to see me, I think. But what it is you're in a standing position, you bend the knees slightly, and you keep your balance, and your feet are parallel. And the insides of your instep are actually directly in a line with the insides of your armpit. Okay, so if you look down and draw a straight line down, that's the width you want, and no wider.
Great.
Okay, so the feet are parallel. The width is from the instep to the inside of the armpit. Okay, And you're just going to relax your hands. Now you're going to tuck in the hip just a little bit and relax the shoulders. So here, we're going to sit a little bit, just a tiny bit. Raise your arms straight up, palms down. Inhale, right in front of you. We're going to straighten up a little bit. Bring your arms in, inhale, in towards you. We're going to sit and push out. And relax your arms again. We're going to start from the basic position of standing upright. So it's sit, up, breathe in, up, hands back, breathe in, sit, exhale, push out, and relax and release. That's one. Now you can see the structure. You're very conscious and focused on where your legs are. And if you're not used to doing it, you'll feel it right away. But part of the foundation of the Chinese method is strengthening of the legs and the hip area to carry the rest of your body. And that's what creates the environment for good balance, and balance being based on equilibrium. So the more sensitive you become, the more sensitive you are to the balance, like the gyroscope within us, which is the Dantian basically. And then, of course, the breathing combined with those other things and the movement. And one more movement, and this time I'm going to place you. It's the same body position with the hips and the legs. You're just going to sit a little bit. You're going to raise your hands, palm down, but fingertips facing and elbows up. Inhale. Exhale, extend to the sides. Inhale, bring them back in. Exhale, push down to the waist, and then release. So now we're going to do that one. We're going to do it a little bit slower. Inhale, so nice and slow, breathing deep into the lower belly. Inhale, exhale, nice and slow. Inhale, pushing down, exhale. So now that's pretty slow for me. John does it even slower. You know John, so you know how. So those kinds of things. Now you can do a sitting where you again you bend the knees and tuck the hip under a little bit, but we're going to put the arms in front of us like we're hugging a tree, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to bend like you did the first time and sit a little bit. And let your back round at the kidneys, and let your head drop. So inhale up, straighten up. Exhale down. Your body is going straight down over your feet. And then your back is rounding and your head is dropping. Inhale up. Exhale down. Straight down and let your chin relax on your chest. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then release your hands nice and slow. There are 3 different kinds of things if one can remember them. But it all is based on the foundation method to strengthen the legs. You can move, but it takes a little bit more time. So even if you have your hands here, okay, and your body and your legs are in the same position, you swing upward with the right hand on a diagonal. And yes, and you push down with the opposite hand, straight down on that same side. Then you bring them back together. And you swing again the opposite side and push down. Bring them back together. Inhale and exhale down. So you would start, if I'm starting here, I would inhale, swing, push down, exhale. Yes, and bring back in, inhale. Swing, push down, exhale. And bring it on back, inhale. And push down, exhale. Okay, so there are a few things to strengthen. And you want to start out slow because again, it is a process. And you want to stay as relaxed as possible, but your body has to have a purpose. You can be relaxed, but you can't slump, so to speak.
Right.
Your hands are up, but they're not like a dish rag. They have form, but they're relaxed, and that takes time as well. You can do something as simple as standing in that same basic position, bringing in, inhale, exhale, pushing out. But you do not hyperextend. Inhale, exhale. It's a lot of stuff here, but inhale, exhale. Inhale, a little bit slower. Exhale. Circle up, inhale. Push down, exhale. And there you are. So that's good, it's just a feel the flow. And even this, you do this a lot to cross the sides.
Right.
And you have a lot of that in Tai Chi as well, from one side to the next. So yeah, there's a lot of crossing.
Very relaxing, very soothing.
Yes, it is. And in the beginning, you'll find that, you just have to breathe in a normal way until you can relax your body enough to anything towards your body is generally an inhale, and away from your body is an exhale. And so the slower you do it, the more relaxed you are, the greater the circulation in the body. And with the relaxation, you're also gaining flexibility. Just that very nature of being relaxed allows your body to extend further if you need to in other circumstances. So it's a very applicable form of movement, and it does work, and it does keep the blood pressure down. It does all those things if you do it on a regular basis. And even one thing like the standing and lifting and down, just that in of itself will get the body into a place where it will improve, even if you just do that. So.
Well, gee, thanks. Wonderful. And there's, at this stage of the game that we're all in, boy, we all need something to relax with.
Yeah, we do. What most people don't know in the Western world is that it really is a martial art, and it was revived in I think it was the late 40s, but it's been around for over 1,000 years. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a medicine man, an herbalist called Watu or how to something like that, and he watched the animals and he saw how they moved, and he extrapolated that into the human cause, and from that over time developed the martial art of protection and defense. He looked at all the aspects of different animals and developed that form. And so it actually comes from him, but I think that other stages or things were occurring at the same time, which added to that. So again, it's over 1,000 years old, and I've only done 23 of them.
Well, you did a great job. Thank you, because gave us some easy tools to just use to relax with. Boy, do we ever need that today.
You're very welcome. I just have, you're good at tapping, you know about tapping. So I brought this with me because I think it's important. If you just tap your fingertips like this, it wakes up the brain. Yeah, your fingertips, like make a little claw. Yeah, there you go. And you can do that in Chinese stuff. They do 9 times or 36 times. 9's enough for me if I'm sitting watching TV. Okay, and then into the webs. I mean, you really give it a thump. Don't hurt
What does this do again, Carol?
Okay, the fingertips it wakes up the sensors in the brain. For the webs, it's finger flexibility, okay? So if you got a little bit of arthritis, that'll help with that.
Right.
And then the webs of the thumbs, that's for headaches, toothaches, and pain. If you have pain in your face, You do it either way, both sides. And then, oh yeah, below the pinky finger, just below it, it's real fleshy right there, right at the
Right.
end. See that right there?
There.
Here. Just,
That's a heart point.
yeah, well
So
that
that supports the heart.
that's the heart point. You're absolutely right. It's in the end of the palm is the heart line, and it relaxes the neck.
Oh, we could use that.
9 times, yeah. And let me see if there's, okay, inside and outside of the wrist. So inside of the wrist, this strengthens the heart, so the two wrists can go together. So I just cross one over the other.
Uh-huh.
And then the back of the wrist, again, is for headaches. This is something you can do without thinking, except you have to think of it to do it. So it's tap in between thumbs, sides, and wrist. So.
Great. Well, that's at least a little faster. That's more our speed in this.
It's for my speed. I still, it still takes me. It depends how you enter into it too. But it really is relaxing. It helps you to cognitively. The focus is really an exercise for the brain, which is good. And obviously the movement, the flexibility and strength brings the body together in harmony. And with the strength of the legs and the hips, everything else will just fall into place. But you have to do it on a regular basis. It's not just, you can't do it just once a week, couple times a week. And you really, in my mind, you really need an instructor, at least in the beginning of these things.
Sure.
You have the correct posture. And I'm available at
Okay, well, we'll give John Chan a little kudo for all of that.
Yes, and he's an excellent instructor.
Yeah, and very good looking too.
Yes, he is eye candy to me too.
Nice to have somebody to tweak your hormones every now and then.
Yes, absolutely. So I don't know if anybody has any questions that that I could answer, or
Okay.
or anything they want to see again.
Wait, let me figure out let me go back here. So if anybody has a question for Carol, for Chris, you can unmute yourself and check with her. Okay, Kathy?
Where are you located, Chris?
I'm in Philadelphia.
Oh, and that's where you teach?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's not Center City. Well, he's in what's called Manayunk. His studio, John's studio's in Manayunk. But
Okay.
I can come to places, which is what I usually do outside of the studio.
Okay. Do you do private instruction?
I can.
Okay.
I can, yes. Actually, I had a couple people for a short period of time, but I did it out of John's studio rather than go to their place. But I'm willing to go, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Chris would be really good because she cracks that whip. You're going to follow her.
Hey, my niece even knows that.
Right. Okay, well, I'm going to just go back to the screen again. And again, here's all the things that Chris just mentioned, living longer. And we can see from working with our legs why it would help to reduce that risk of falls and bring you that cognitive function and sleep better.
Just one thing I would like to add to that. We tend to either understride or overstride. This helps you find your middle ground. It truly does, which increases, of course, your balance, your ability to keep balance and equilibrium. But it's really important. See how wide they are in the upper picture?
Yes.
That's really, it might be the form that they're doing, but that's really a very wide stance. So to keep that in mind as well, because you don't have to be an extreme at it. These people have been doing it for a while. You can see where their balance is.
Yes.
It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying for anybody who's a beginner or is interested, the stance is not necessarily that expressed to that degree. As you begin, you open up as you go along.
Mm-hmm. It looks very graceful.
It is very graceful. It
Yeah.
really is, and it becomes smoother and smoother the more you do it.
Tanya, you raised your hand, so could you unmute yourself? I think you have a question about this.
Yeah, I just want to edit, well, not edit, ask question and just say that I actually do Tai Chi with my husband for the last 2 years, only 2 years, and we do young style Tai Chi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And thank you very much. I'm not familiar with those exercises that you show. It's really interesting.
You're very welcome.
And even though I thought I don't have problem with my balance, but I did, and just doing that Tai Chi helped me a lot.
Yes.
And,
Yes, it
and
will.
yeah, it's really, really interesting. My husband used to do karate when he was younger, and it's really fit him really well by doing Tai Chi. So he's really into it, and I'm tagging along and very happy that I'm doing this because it's really good. And those exercises that you show,
Yes.
like would maybe Elsie will be able to put them on the website after after the play, like when she's usually doing.
Yes, I'm recording this, so you'll be able to just tune into the exercises and follow Chris again.
Okay, that's the good idea.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right, so I want to move on to Kathy, who's with us tonight. And Kathy is one of my colleagues in the Holistic Chamber of Commerce here in Cherry Hill, Mount Laurel area. And she took some time during COVID because she really took a dive into plant medicine and discovered on some of her walks, she's down around Clayton, I think, that healing plants were right in her backyard practically. So I'd like her to talk a little bit about plant medicine because she's added this to her, health and nutrition coaching. So Kathy, let me stop the share and have you take the stage here.
Okay. And I'm unmuted, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. It's really nice to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me, Elsie.
Yeah.
Well, as you saw on the slide, I'm a holistic health and nutrition coach. And, I work with people who are, trying to improve the level of their health and wellness. And because my approach is holistic, I really address all areas of the person. The way that I really kind of focus is with nutrition and positive lifestyle changes and natural solutions. So I have this not so secret love of natural solutions. It's one of my very favorite aspects of what I do. And, with the, the planetary pause, that we experienced recently, it gave us all some time, and for me, I was, able to, take the time to learn more about, about plant medicine. And it's something that I have been, it's something that has been, that I've been interested in for a while. And I seem to be like drawn to herbalists, or they come into my my purview or a book or something. And this was just a really good time to connect with nature and understand more about our interconnectedness with nature and humanity. So one of the first things I did with my time this year was to plant a vegetable garden, and I hadn't done that in 40 years. Do you guys have vegetable gardens? Yeah. Okay.
Chris,
Well, it had been, I'm a big gardener. Like I have, loads of flower beds, and I live on a stream, and I'm surrounded by woods. So I'm really big with the earth. Like I just always have dirt under my nails in the growing season, but I haven't grown a vegetable garden in the longest time. So I started by doing that. And it just really helped to nurture me and help me to feel empowered, especially in the situation that we're in right now, to be able to grow those vegetables, from seed, and to, amend the ground. And I actually used a gardening process called square foot gardening. Are any of you familiar with that? Have you ever heard of that? It was new to me too. I have a friend who's an organic gardener, and he said, and I only had this little area to do it in, and it was actually a perennial bed garden, and the moles had gotten in there and like decimated all my plants. So I'm like, okay, this is perfect for a vegetable garden, but it's a circle, and it's only about 9 foot in diameter. So my friend said, you ought to try that square foot gardening. And I did. And it's really this efficient and effective way to grow so many different types of things. So that has been a lot of fun for me. Additionally, I started to play with making plant medicine. I got a book called Wild Remedies. Are any of you familiar with that? Wild Remedies? I should actually have that.
Yeah.
Here. Oh, right here. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So it's Rosalie De La Forêt and Emily Hahn. I also have books from Maya Toll and Cami McBride, and I also follow a podcaster and blogger who's an herbalist, and her name is Amber Magnolia Hill. So I've really just started to dig into this, and the reason why I really love that Wild Remedies book is because it's about herbal remedies that from plants that literally grow in your yard. They're weeds. They're very common. So and let me ask you, when we talk about plant medicine, what do you think is the most foundational form of plant medicine in your life each and every day?
If you want to answer, just unmute yourself and pop in there.
It's the vegetables that we eat, right? It's all the plants that we take into our body, right? It's those great dark leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables, and just and fruits. I mean, the spectrum of plant foods, right, are so huge, and they contain so many valuable chemical phytonutrients, chemical constituents, and all of those things help to support our immune function. So literally, we eat plant medicine every day. If you eat your veggies and your dark leafy greens, you're eating your plant medicine. But I wanted to dig a little deeper because I just love natural solutions when I'm working with my clients. So I started by collecting violets, the little violets in the springtime that are growing in the lawn, and dandelion. Who's got dandelion, right? collecting them and making a tincture and an oil. So a tincture is putting those flowers in alcohol that is 50 to 60% alcohol, and you let them steep and infuse for 5 to 6 weeks. So something like the violet in the violet tincture is very good for dry cough or sore throat. So, and it's just so easy to make. And isn't it amazing that it's like right in your lawn, right? Those annoying little, dandelions can be so incredibly beneficial. And the other thing I made with that, with the dandelion and the violet, is an oil, which has cooling and moisturizing qualities. So I just put those little flowers in a jar and covered them with organic extra virgin olive oil, and put a little coffee filter over top of the jar and let them steep for 5 to 6 weeks. And every day I would go in and stir it and put an intention into it. And it just made the most beautiful oil. So, you strain it after and you bottle it up. But I got a little sunburn on my back while I was working in the yard. It was a hot day. I jacked my shirt up, forgot to put sunscreen back there. And I'm like, wow, let me try this violet dandelion oil. And I just rubbed some on that sunburned area. It felt like the heat came up in my skin for just a minute or two, and then it dissipated, and the sunburn never bothered me again. So it is amazing, the things that plants possess and how they can support our health. Let's see, another thing that I made was lemon balm. Do any of you have lemon balm in your herb garden, or lemon verbena? Yeah, so
Head's going, yes.
I love lemon verbena. I don't know if any of you have that, but that is lemon balm and lemon verbena are in the mint family. And you probably know lemon balm for its calming qualities, right? It's good if you feel anxious. It's good to have lemon balm tea, or you can make a tincture. And lemon verbena has those same qualities. It's just lesser known. But I love that herb. I throw that in my my herbal tea or my lemonade, and I also cook with it in some recipes. But I made a tincture out of that, and that is actually still, infusing. But it's a beautiful practice. Oh, and so I, in this Wild Remedies book, there is a little chapter on elderflower. Now, you're probably familiar with elderberry, right? Especially these days with the advent of COVID-19, people who seek out natural solutions will be helping to boost their immune function by taking elderberry syrup, right? Or sambucus is the genus name. So that's a pretty common thing. We even find it today in our supermarkets, right? So that is a berry that is the seed from the elderflower bush. And I thought, I would just love to have, an elderflower bush. So I started calling around to the nurseries, and no one has one. And then I get online, and you can buy anything online, right? But every place I found, they were sold out. Well, I was playing with my grandchildren in my stream, and I noticed this overhanging branch, and a little further down the stream, another one that had white flowers on it. And I'm like, and in a close examination, I'm like, I think this is elderflower. So I got out my little app on my phone. It's called Picture This. Are you familiar with that? Okay.
Oh, but that sounds great.
Yeah. And I just took a picture of it, and it identifies it, and it identified it as elderflower. Do you believe it? And I even like double checked it, right? I came in, I looked in my book, you know, because there's a beautiful illustration to make sure you're not picking the wrong thing. And then I also even Googled, does elderflower grow near streams in New Jersey? Yes, it does. So I picked some of the elderflower and I made a beautiful oil with it, but you can also make a tincture, but it's actually very good for the skin. And I don't know if you're familiar with the alcohol Saint Germain or Saint Elder. That's an elderflower liqueur. So it has a very nice flavor to it as well. But so many of those types of synchronicities have happened for me, and it has just been magnificent. I walked across the road and I saw this weed growing near the bridge, and something like, there's something about this, I have to know what this is. And it was mugwort. And mugwort is another one of those herbs that I was looking for. So I have made a tincture and an oil with the mugwort. I have also made herbal bundles for use in ceremony, you know, to burn like you would white sage or something like that. But it's just been a really wonderful journey for me, especially with my love of natural solutions. And I am just, I'm so delighted that so many synchronicities have happened for me, because that tells me that I am on, you know, the right path, right, in this endeavor. Yeah, in this growth. And honestly, that's what this time has been for me. You know, I don't have quite as many clients as I would have in this time period, but it's a time, you know, for us to maybe regroup, right? Or to grow in some way, shape, or form, to you know, to go into ourselves, right? And to tap in to our, you know, our talents, our aptitudes, our skills, or to, you know, explore, you know, what we have to offer in maybe a different form, right? In a different way. Yeah. So, this is, you know, this has just been a joy for me.
I can see that. But Kathy, I want you to show us the other talent. Kathy has many talents, is she makes jewelry. So you can see this beautiful heart she has on. I'm sure you made that, Kathy. And pull your hair back so we can see those fabulous earrings. That you
I am also a metalsmith.
right.
Yeah, that's another passion. That's my creative passion. Yes. I have a little studio and I love doing that. So I guess I have really honed my connection with nature, right? By working with metal and stones and plants. Yeah, so thank you, Elsie.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. And
that.
I will also say that I did see a picture of Kathy's garden, and it is the neatest one I have ever seen in my life.
The
It is
vegetable
so
garden.
organized.
That's square foot gardening. You literally make a grid, you know, and I just ran string, you know, and made a grid.
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. Except for the deer got in it last night. Oh my God, the deer got in my garden and ate all the tops of my carrots. So I'm putting up another layer of fence higher so they don't get in. I can keep the rabbits out and the groundhogs, but now I need to keep the deer out.
So let me just check if anybody has any questions for Kathy. You can just unmute yourself and ask.
I do. Talk about that thing you mentioned in the beginning about the square planting.
Oh, square foot gardening.
Yes. Yeah. So literally, is it a square foot?
Well, you know, let me see I'm looking for the book here. See if I have it.
Okay, well, you're looking. I just put the stuff in the ground and hope for the best. Huh?
Yeah, it's Mel Bartholomew is the author, and this book is, well, this is the second edition. He's got a few editions, but the original is 30 years old.
Let's see it again. Kathy, put it up there again. There.
Where? I can't. She's got to say something, so she comes.
Kathy, say something.
Oh, Square Foot Gardening. Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Let us see it again. Square book.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I just, my planting is, there's a space, put something there. I dig a hole and put something there. Anyway, so the weather obviously has a big deal to do with it. And, but things are going very well. I have tomato plants, but, and they're doing well. They're doing very well.
Very good.
Yeah, so maybe I'll expand a little bit next time.
Yeah, you know, I also, if I may, Elsie,
Sure.
I just want to say too that, you know, with all that's going on in our world today and even in our country, I believe that what's going on is really a great shift for us. And I feel it's an opportunity for humanity to change their relationship with the earth and with each other. And all I really think that it takes in order to make a great shift for us is for us to just care about each other, right? It's just really a matter of us looking out for each other. And what's the only thing we have control over?
Ourselves.
Right? That's it, right? It's where it begins and ends, right?
Right.
So I have been thinking, you know, what is my role in this, right? Like I could bitch and complain about the things that are going on, but if all that it really takes is for us to look out for each other, how can I contribute, right? Especially now in a time where a lot of people are out of work or underemployed. And I have been kicking this around, you know, in my mind for a little bit. And what I would like to do is to offer to people a health consultation on a number of topics that I generally work with in my practice. Things like better quality sleep, or, you know, weight loss, or healthy eating, or stress management, anxiety and depression. There's just so many things in the world of wellness. But the only thing that I would ask of you is that you pay it forward. That you do something for someone else, you know, with at least as much love, time, and energy that I share with you. So this is, you know, how I am trying to do my little part to make the world a better place to live in. Yeah, so that's my offer. That's my offer to you. So anyone who is, you know, interested in getting an hour to an hour and a half consultation on a health and wellness related topic, you can reach out to me via my website, which is vitalbodywellness.com, and you can contact me through that, or you can just drop me a line at Kathy@vitalbodywellness.com, or you can give me a call at 609-420-4442, and we can set something up. Okay. But I will ask you to tell me about how you will pay this forward. And it would be just a really cool thing for me to be able to share too, you know? So just want to kind of put that ripple in the universe.
Thanks, Kathy. And I want to just put that slide up again. Here's Kathy's information, her website. And again, we're recording all this, so you can go back and check this out, and her phone number if you would like to do this. It's a great idea. Kathy presented this at our Holistic Chamber meeting the other night, and I thought it was such a great way, as she said, of doing her part in the world and giving us all a chance to not only enjoy some of the knowledge that she has, but then to share our knowledge or whatever is our talent and pay it forward to someone else. So thanks, Kathy.
Thank you.
I'm also just going to mention Dr. Zach Bush. He is working with the Farmer's Footprint, and he's talking about getting Roundup banned, and there's a new product that supposedly is going to take the glyphosate out of Roundup, but something else is being replaced with it. So he has his own website and some products, and he's an incredible speaker. He's triple board certified in endocrinology, internal medicine, and hospice care. And there is a link here for YouTube that he talks about this COVID and having people pass on to the next journey alone. And so I just would encourage you to look him up. He's just inspirational, more of what we need. So Kathy, I want to thank Kathy again for joining us. I'm going to just mention Rich Bricone. He is a spiritual medium. He's right here in New Jersey. A wonderful energy. His book, Being More of God, is about his own life. And Rich was an undercover narcotics cop for 25 years. And he is self-trained in this field. So he's an amazing guy. Years ago, when he first started doing galleries, wellness workers had him present in the very early days. So, and these are some things that he recommended a while back when he did a Facebook Live, when he was talking about just easy things that anybody could use to help themselves. So you can go back and check his slide more deeply if you want. I did an interview with him, and it was, again, 1,000 views. So people are just drawn to him. We did the 6-month update with Pam Younghans. We had 333 people on, which was amazing. You can still get that if you wish by contacting Pam Younghans directly at her website, just putting in subject line webinar. And the next 6 months look just as challenging as these first 6 months for different reasons. So you can also, Pam has a weekly journal that's free. So if you go to her website, you can sign up for that. And every Sunday afternoon, she sends out an update. Here's what to expect this coming week. And she really brings it down to really basics, how it's going to affect us physically, emotionally, spiritually, politically. Very, very informative. And if you'd like to unlock your abundance and unlock those 7 key energy zones, talk to me about it. For this group, there's a special. It's on Zoom or by phone, and it's $47 for our group versus $97. Joe Dispenza and Lynn McTaggart, of course, are the leaders in the supercharged heart healings that we're going to do tonight. I love both of their work, and they are, Lynn McTaggart has been doing the Power of 8 healings internationally, long distance, for the last couple of years, and they're having an amazing results. And they post a couple of people that they're going to work with each week, and everybody that's working with them is doing it all long distance. So just amazing. So when we do those supercharged healing tonight, what we're basically doing is, you know, getting our hands charged up and opening our hearts. And I have the prayer bowl ready, which is getting quite filled up, by the way, and I'll lead you through that. So we have a whole list of July healees. And we're going to breathe in the power of love and let go of fear. So before we go to that, just a reminder again that we had a new moon Monday, July 20th. So if you didn't write your abundance check, write it tonight. Here's how to do it. And I've had some incredible stories of people, amazing things that have happened for people with writing their abundance check. So I have a faithful followers and try to remind everybody each month. And we're back to the beginning. So let's go back. So we have a whole list of July healees. And so what I'd like everyone to do is to get comfortable in your chair or wherever you are. And I'm going to lead you through getting ready. We're going to warm up our palms. And after you warm them up, let's just bring them apart and notice what you feel in the space between the palms. You may feel that something's there, but you can't quite see it. If you pull your palms out, it gets kind of like spaghetti. You bring them back in, it's a little bit stronger. And again, you're just warming those palms up, getting them ready. So I want you to just put one hand over the other at the heart center. And I just want to mention that Peggy's on the call tonight and her husband, Jordan, is struggling with shingles. We know that's painful. Donna Kiernan, who's part of our group, but she's working tonight. She's looking for a dentist and is looking for some healing for her gums and teeth, having a lot of work. And last time we had Colleen Kelly, who's struggling with metastasized breast cancer, and a young woman, Rachel, with throat cancer, and her 3-year-old son, Jamie, struggling with rheumatoid arthritis. Nancy McMillan, we put back on the list. Yolanda's here with us tonight, and we were still celebrating that she's completed treatment, her immunity treatment and immunology, and she had the port taken out, so we're really celebrating that. And Larissa is related to Tanya, and she's had a lot of arthritis, hip, knees. She's also had a lot of digestive issues from taking so many aspirin and pain pills. And of course, the Murphy family, as well as my grandson, Chase, who's 5, and he's getting, his speech is really getting great, but he's finally putting sentences together. So we're working with him. And then Teresa contacted me today, and she asked for help for her family, all of her family, to stay healthy, and also for help for sleep issues, for her neighbor Grace, that there's no recurrence of her brain tumor, and help for Erin with lupus, and her friends Kim, Moria, and Barbara, no reoccurrence of breast cancer. And so I'm also going to invite people, if you have a prayer bowl, you can, when we get to this part of the evening, you can bring your own prayer bowl and join in with all that people that we're praying for, because remember, we're looking at the infinite universe, and everything is possible. We're looking at infinite energy, infinite healing. So what we're going to do, again, I'm going to turn this light on. So we're going to warm up our palms now. And we're just going to cup our palms, and we're going to be sending healing to all the people that are already in the prayer bowl, all of the people in your prayer bowls, and all of the people that we have as special in the prayer bowl for this evening. So close your eyes for a few minutes and just imagine that you're expanding your heart energy. And as you do, it is just flowing down your arms and out your hands. And we're asking for the highest intention and highest good for everyone that we're praying for. And we're not putting any attachment or demands or outcomes. We're simply holding everyone and their situation for the highest intention. And as we continue to open up our heart, we keep raising our vibration, sending them healing and raising their vibration. So we're taking this time through our heart to serve the light of the universe, of the divine. And we're coming in as the divine feminine and offering our love, nurturing, compassion, and healing. Taking a breath in and relaxing. Letting the shoulders drop. Remembering those easy Tai Chi movements that Chris took us through. Coming back to that place of relaxation. And one more time, expanding the heart energy. As it flows down the arms and out the hands to all those in our prayer circle tonight. And now we're going to bring one hand over the other back to the heart. And we're going to bring in energy and healing from the heart to our own being as we hold all of our being in love, honor, and reverence, just as we are in this moment in time. So we want to fill our own body, mind, and spirit with love and acceptance. Take another deep breath in. Fill your own being with light, divine love, divine service. So I want to thank everyone for joining tonight and another special evening. And we'll do this again next month. And I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. If you have any questions or comments.
Elsie, this is my first time, so thank you for inviting me to come along. It's great to be here with my two aunties and my mom. A question for you around the abundance check, and I don't want to slow down anything for the rest of the group who may be familiar with it, but I would love to hear a little bit more, and I can go to the website too if that's easier.
Well, the abundance chest actually is a, it's an ancient tradition. There are many different ways that you can write it, but what I'll do is send you a little video on exactly how to write it. And somebody contacted me and said, well, I no longer have checks. I'm doing everything by, debit card or what have you. And I said, well, you could even draw a check. I really think, Teresa, that the whole concept probably is a pagan concept. It probably goes back to those, Celtic days. But the idea is that it's a new moon, that you write the abundance check within 24 hours of that time frame. And because you're beginning a whole new month, and of course that new moon brings in new energy, new opportunities, etc. So that's part of the premise behind it. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'll send you a little handout and a little video on what it looks like to write it. But it's just a nice tradition that you recognize, boy, we're beginning, a whole new month, and happily Mercury's out of retrograde, and
Oh, please.
yeah.
If you just Google abundant checks, you can print it out of Google. Like they give you they give you checks, like, just interesting. You can pick which one you want. And then you write what you want, of course.
It's not complicated.
No.
You can make your own. Just put your name and that kind of thing. Anyway, Elsie, I need to say hello to my sister and my niece. Yeah.
All right.
Miss you guys.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to
Kathy,
meet
Nice to
thank
meet
you.
you, Kathy.
Thank you very much. Very helpful.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kathy.
Yeah, that would be great. You'll have to have some kind of an event, Kathy, so we can all come down, be by the stream, do all the things that you talked about. It just, and display all your jewelry, and we can buy some of that.
I actually did the last 2 years. I had a beautiful event. It was yoga, and I had a yoga instructor come and take us through a yoga class, and it was twilight yoga. And then I had a shaman who led us through a fire ceremony. So
Wow.
yeah, it was
That was neat.
amazing. And then I had a small handcrafted market. So I had my jewelry, but I also had an herbalist here who was selling her herbal remedies, and someone who made soap. But each year I had different vendors. I don't think I'm going to do that this year because it's just we have to physically distance, and it's just tough.
Yeah.
And like 40 people were here, so
Yeah.
that's a lot. Yeah, but next year, next year,
Hopefully.
hopefully, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Kathy. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you get a chance, go on and look at Dr. Zach Bush's stuff. I'll send you that information again. He really is incredible. As I said, he's involved with that Farmer's Footprint, where they're helping farmers bring the soil back to where it should be. And the farmers that are doing this with the Farmer's Footprint, if they do not make their quota, you know, if they're taking the risk to do this new way of farming, and if they don't make their quota or what they usually make at the end of the year, Zach has a organization that will make that difference up financially for the
Wow.
farmer. So
Wow.
really,
Wow.
That's great.
yeah, great. And he's, you know, he's so interesting. And even his experience, he talked about his experience with hospice care and, you know, being in the ICU. And he said, I can't tell you how many times we brought somebody back and they said, gee, it was so much nicer over there on the other side. Why'd you bring me back? So he's just a really genuine, genuine guy. And, you know, he has a practice, and what he found out about why, you know, people were not healing or whatever, he's just fascinating to listen to. Yeah, fascinating.
Thank you.
Thanks, Elsie.
Oh, great.
Thanks, Elsie.
It's great to see everybody. I just love
Yeah.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah,
Terry, I'm glad you could make it, hon. Glad you could make it.
great. So listen, everybody, get your prayer bowls together, and next time we meet, bring your prayer bowl with you.
Yeah.
Just really easy. You
Okay.
get a bowl,
I always
you
do.
get, you know, a bunch of Post-it notes, and you just, you know, people contact me and I just put their name. Teresa sent me, you know, that list of who to put on, and I write them on my Post-it note and throw it in the bowl. And I hold the bowl after I do all my Reiki symbols every morning. I may only get to hold it for a minute, but there's no time in the universe. So when that little voice of inner judgment jumps up on my shoulder and says, "Ah, you only have that for 60 seconds. I don't think I can." I just
That's
don't
not going to work.
right to get lost. So, you know, we always have that voice of inner judgment following us around. So it's just a great way to pray for a lot of people at one time. And
Yeah, it's great.
at this time, we see, you know, so many people struggling. I mean, to help everyone that asks you, you'd have to spend half your day in prayer. And that was great when we were in the monasteries or in the, you know, in the convents, but we're not in there any longer, and neither is anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you,
Great.
Elsie.
Yeah, and I'll
Thank
send
you.
you the replay.
Thank you, Kathy.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, everyone.